From the ground, a commercial flight looks like a single, uninterrupted glide. We imagine the pilot points the nose at the destination and travels in a perfect geometric line until they arrive. The mechanical reality is much messier. An airplane on autopilot is almost never perfectly on course. It is a jagged reality of constant drifting, veering into crosswinds, and dropping in altitude. The system doesn't try to prevent this drift, it uses it. Every time the plane veers too far off the axis, the autopilot registers the drift as an error signal and uses that data to pivot the nose back toward the target. We build our machines to accept mistakes as vital navigational data, yet we treat our own lives differently. We've been conditioned to view a failed exam or a career rejection as a fatal crash, a sign that we were never meant to be on the path at all. In his book, Dare to Fail, Billy P.S. Lim argues that this is our greatest misunderstanding of success. Achievement isn't the absence of errors, it's the result of triggering the error signal more times than anyone else. Lim's own starting coordinates were a recipe for a permanent stall. He was born into the bottom rungs of society in 1950s Malaysia, one of 14 children in a household defined by poverty and his father's routine violence. The education system only added more error data to his early life. He endured teachers who preferred physical punishment over instruction, and eventually failed his critical fifth form exam so badly he was barred from continuing his education at a traditional high school. When he finally transferred to a new school, he volunteered for a debate, only to freeze the moment he faced the audience. His mind went entirely blank, his knees shook, and he suffered a total public humiliation. This failure left him stunned. He spent months quiet and withdrawn in class, reeling from the public shock. But in the logic of the autopilot, this wasn't a dead end. It was the system recording exactly how much preparation and mental fortitude are required to stay airborne. By university, he attempted a massive course correction. Inspired by the principles of success he found in a discarded book, he ran for the student union. Despite being a complete unknown, he executed a creative, relentless campaign that landed him a seat in the highest cabinet of the student body. He quickly became the organization's money-making machine, but his momentum pulled him into a dangerous overcorrection. He joined the leadership of the 1974 student protests, a movement that ended abruptly with a military crackdown and mass arrests. The price for this success was devastating. 2 of his friends were jailed, and another lost their government scholarship. This period permanently altered Lim's trajectory, proving that even a successful course correction carries a physical cost that must be weathered if you intend to stay in the air. After graduation, the plane stalled again. Despite his degree, Lim faced 9 months of unemployment and a total collapse of self-confidence, as employer after employer rejected him for his lack of experience. Facing a dead end, he made another pivot, returning to the very university he had sworn to leave behind just to earn a teaching certificate. He hid in his room after classes, desperate to avoid being recognized by former peers. This humble restart eventually led him into the private sector, where he co-founded a detergent company. But within 2 months, his team's lack of financial experience caught up with them, and they completely ran out of capital to buy goods. At the brink of bankruptcy, Lim took the ultimate risk. He mortgaged his father's land to secure a bank overdraw, effectively betting his family's entire foundation on the hope that this latest error could be corrected in time. The gamble worked. His company expanded to 60 warehouses across the country, turning Lim into a corporate troubleshooter who specialized in fixing failing markets across Southeast Asia. This zigzag is a universal blueprint for breakthrough. In 1968, a 3M scientist tried to create a powerful adhesive, but produced a weak, easily removable glue that failed every internal test. Years later, that exact failure became the foundation of the multi-million-dollar Post-it note industry. Global icons operate on the same data. Long before he was a superstar, Jackie Chan arrived in America unable to speak English and ignored by the industry, forced to endure years of humiliating bit parts before his breakout moment. Every business breakthrough and personal pivot relies on failure as the primary fuel. Invention is just the process of repurposing the debris from your last crash. History suggests that greatness is a direct byproduct of friction. Helen Keller, who navigated a world without sight or sound, observed that character
cannot be forged in ease and quiet. Only the experience of trial and suffering can clear the mind and sharpen the ambition required for success. Booker T. Washington argued that the true value of an achievement is measured by the specific obstacles a person had to overcome to reach their position. Knowing this doesn't make the error signal hurt any less. When you hit a wall or lose everything, the natural instinct is to wonder why you were singled out for such a disaster. But we have to reframe that pain. Without the error signal, your internal autopilot has no data. You are essentially flying completely blind, with no way to know how far you've drifted until it's too late. To reach the target, you have to let the system log the drift. You have to endure the zigzag. Stop trying to fly in a perfect straight line. Start risking the failure. Because the person willing to be wrong the most times is the one who ultimately wins.